Hello YouTube, hello YTPC, full smoking bar here. I'm going to talk to you today about cleaning your pipe. It's a question I see all the time, do you do this, do you do that, do you clean it after every time you smoke it, do you, deeply clean it after 5 smokes or whatever, all that kind of stuff. I tend to not do a lot of cleaning by and large. I only clean them when they need it. I don't do it just to be doing it. So, now, when I'm done smoking, I do go on ahead and run a pipe cleaner down through the pipe. Like this. And I'll do that, 2 or 3 times, 4 times, whatever, until, with a different pipe cleaner each time, until it cleans it up a little bit. If you don't do that, then the soot basically can dry and harden because your pipe's going to be slightly moist inside while you're smoking it, kind of like condensation on a soda can. You've got cool air outside and hot air in here, and so you get a little bit of moisture. And the moist smoke can leave deposits inside there, and if you just leave it alone and don't do anything, it can get more difficult to get it out. But if you, when you're done smoking, you just run a pipe cleaner through and get, those fresh deposits out, and then oftentimes I will take a pipe cleaner and either shove it down in there like that or a paper towel and just give it a quick little once over like that, and that's it, Or I may take a check tool and knock dawdle out of it. Anyway, and that's it. I don't go to a lot of fuss or trouble. I just knock out anything real visible, and that's it. And I typically will do that when I'm done smoking the pipe for the day, because I'll often smoke one, for a long time, like all day long. Now, of course, while you're smoking, if it starts getting too moist, it'll gurgle, and you've got to use pipe cleaners anyway. So it's not a big deal to use pipe cleaners often. It doesn't hurt anything. They're not expensive, and it's not a big deal to use those. And, every time I go to my tobacconist or if I order something online, I just pick some up, I keep, however many hundreds on hand, and that's it. And that's all I do. I don't do a whole lot of fussing around with deep cleaning all the time. Now, this video is not going to be a video about estate restoration or, deep cleaning an estate pipe with retorts and salt treatments or anything like that. This is, you've owned the pipe and you either bought it new or it was already restored or something along those lines, and it's one that you smoke regularly and you just want to keep it in decent shape. So that's it. I just give it a quick once over every time I smoke it, and that's all. Now, eventually a pipe can get to where it tastes bad. I'm not necessarily talking about ghosting per se, but you'll just notice that a tobacco that you smoke in that pipe very often will not taste quite right. I smoke a lot of H&H Burley Flake in this one, and I'll notice it tastes sooty. It doesn't taste like good burley anymore, and then I realize it's time to give this a little bit of a deeper cleaning. Now, a few things to note. This pipe is a mortise and tenon style pipe. So you have a straight parallel walled tenon and a straight parallel walled mortise, and these are a snug fit together like that. Pipes like that, that have this mortise and tenon arrangement. Here's another one. This one has a mortise and tenon arrangement. These pipes, you don't want to take them apart like this right after you've smoked them. If this is still warm, you don't want to take it apart because you can have bad things happen. Okay, you can have an extreme thing happen would be the shank cracks. It can happen. I think that's kind of an extreme thing. Generally, what happens is if you take these apart while it's still hot, is you will have an ill-fitting mortise and tenon after that, because these things heat up as you smoke, and if you leave them together, they'll kind of cool down together as they cool, and they will retain a good fit. But if you take them apart and they heat or cool or expand or contract at different rates, then they may not fit as well anymore. So that's the biggest reason for that, is these kind of pipes you want to leave together until they're cooled, because I tend to take them apart whenever I do a deeper cleaning. Okay. Now, if you have pipes like these are what's called military mounts, and it's a tapered fit. This is not parallel. It's thicker up here and thinner down here, and the same thing in here, and it's a press fit. Okay. Pipes like this you can take apart no matter when you want to take them apart. You know, this one too is a military mount. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's hot, you can take these apart. These are called army mounts or military mounts because they were popular with military people out in the field, because they could smoke their pipe and then they could pull it apart and stow it right away and lessen the likelihood that it may get broken. If you leave this together and stick it in a bunch of field gear, it can, you know, snap or break. So they were popular with the military or the army, because out in the field they could just take them apart, and that's it. All right, so to do a deeper clean on a pipe, what I do is, and again, if it's this kind of pipe, make sure it's cooled down, is I just take it apart like this. The next thing I do is, and this is just for like a generalized clean. This is not me trying to do anything crazy sanitary wise. This is just the tobacco is starting to taste a little bit funny, so I'm going to give it a bit of a clean. I tend to use whiskey for that, you know, just for a quick cleanup. And in this bowl, I have some of this. All right. So what I do at that point is I take the pipe cleaner and I get just a little bit on the tip, and that's all. You don't need a whole bunch, and you certainly don't want to get any of that on the finish because it can damage it. And then I just stick it in here and I let it come out into the bowl a little bit, and I just work it back and forth until it comes out clean. And I may repeat this. Once I've done that, I will take the other end, or a fresh one, whatever, a dry pipe cleaner basically, and I will do the same thing again and get it somewhat dried out. And that's all. Then with the stem, I will do the same thing. I will put just a little bit of whiskey on the tip of the pipe cleaner, and I like to go this way and work that around until it comes clean, and then pull it on through like that. And I'll do that, you know, however many times it takes to get it clean. This is an acrylic stem, so you're probably not going to hurt it, but any kind of ebonite or vulcanite, you can damage the finish on that also. So you always want to try to not get any of this, you know, alcohol on the exterior of the pipe anywhere. All right, once I've done that, I will then get a pipe cleaner or a paper towel, it doesn't matter, and you can take a pipe cleaner and you can get a little bit of alcohol on it, okay, and just swab this out real quick. It doesn't, and you don't have to do a whole lot of swabbing and scrubbing, just a little bit. You're just trying to get some of that excess sooty, you know, tar-like stuff. See that? You're trying to get some of that out, because it you know, eventually it starts affecting the flavor. So that's it. You just do that, and then I will take another pipe cleaner that's clean and dry, and I will swab that all up. Or you can use a paper towel. I use paper towels too. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Just use whatever you have on hand. Okay. Now see, that got it out quite a bit, and I could keep doing it, but I'm not going to keep doing it for the video. But that's it. That's all you got to do. Then, if, you know, over time, these things do get dirty on the outside because, you know, you touch them with your hands, or you lay them down in an ashtray, or you have spillage or whatever. You know, if you take a natural briar pipe that's unfinished and you, you know, smoke it for years and years and years, it'll eventually get a patina. Well, this will too, you know. So what do I do to clean it? I just use saddle soap. And I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not going to take and clean this. But you just get a paper towel and a little bit of water, and you get a little bit of wet soap on the paper towel, and you just scrub the pipe off with it. And then you go back over the pipe with a moist, unsoaped paper towel a few times to get all the grimy soap off, and then you will dry it off with a paper towel or a cloth or something. It doesn't really matter. Just something, you know, you want to wash it, kind of not really rinse it, but go over it with just a paper towel with no soap and water until you get the soap off, and then dry it off. And that's really all you got to do. This stuff is very mild. It won't hurt it, and it'll clean it up. And because they do get dirty over time, okay? I don't do that very often. I mean, that may be like once a year or so, just because they get a little dirty, but that's it. I don't go crazy with it all the time. Now, if you want to do a deeper clean, like really clean it well, you would just do the same thing, but you would use something much stronger like this, because this will kill germs, okay? This is Everclear. It's much stronger. You know, the whiskey is kind of for a generalized clean. Everclear is for a much deeper clean. You can use this with salt if you want to do salt treatments. I'm not doing a video about that today. But if you do what I just said with this and do it more vigorously and use many, many more pipe cleaners until it comes out, you know, with no soot or anything on the pipe cleaners, you'll get a much deeper clean, and you will be sanitizing. Okay, so that's it. You would just do the same thing. You know, I have another bowl. This has got a little Everclear in it. You know, I would take the pipe cleaner and I would clean it all out. Same thing as I did with the whiskey. And that's it. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. And people ask all the time, how, you know, often should I do this? You should do it whenever you need to. Okay, just do it whenever you need to. And you'll know when you need to, because, you know, you will put a favorite blend in a favorite pipe and it won't taste right. And you'll know that it's not right. And you'll think to yourself, this isn't right. What do I do? Well, you clean it. And that, you know, I might do, you know, the whiskey clean once a month. I may do the, on average, maybe longer, maybe shorter, depending on how much I smoke it. The Everclear treatment, that, you know, a good deep treatment in a saddle soap, that may be once a year, maybe more, maybe less, you know, but that's all. That's all you got to do. And you don't have to do that every time you smoke. You can do it sometimes. Okay. I do recommend that you kind of knock the dottle out of the pipe, and you do run a pipe cleaner or two down it after you smoke, just to kind of help keep it from getting dirty quickly. If you don't do that, it will get dirtier quicker and not taste right. But that's all. That's all you got to do. Not hard at all. Anybody have any questions or anything, they can leave a comment and I will try to answer it. And you can like, comment, subscribe if you want. And happy smokes, and take care of yourself and all that stuff.